Hello, friend. It is your girl, Whitley Mother Freaking Porter. Thank you. Okay. And let's say it together, Whitley Mother Freaking Porter. If you are watching my YouTube channel, let's lean in. So go ahead and lean in. All right, lean in. This is your check-in for the week. So before we get started, y'all know how I do. We're gonna get a little deep, but before we get deep, we need to get real. If we are friends, I wanna see it. Please do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. I know I point because, saying subscribe, click, thank you. Please share, like, comment. You already know what to mother freaking do. And also grab your Kleenex. I need to talk to Kleenex to get a little something because we're about to get a little real today. All right, because we're talking about worth. All right, remember Miss Elliott? Is it worth it? Let me work it. I don't know what she's saying, but it sounds like, oh yeah, she's reversing. Anyways, but yes, you are worth it. You are worth it. But let's talk about something, especially us as Black women. Let's think about the movies we watch, the music videos, everything that we've kind of seen about us. I'm not talking about Disney princesses because that's a whole nother topic, all right, about the fairy tales. I'm talking about the real movies, the culture, society. Are we feeling worthy? The images that we see. How many people can you say outside of Beyonce, Oprah, Viola? I mean, we have our people and we have our list, but how many times have we also seen images of Black women being ridiculed, made to feel badly about the fact that we're thick? Even our BMI is very different, right? Look at me, I'm curvy, I done lost weight, but I still look like I got a little something. You know what I'm saying? These are sucked in. All right, to make sure that they stay in, but they just be plopping out and I can't help it. All right, it's just part of my DNA. My thighs save lives, but they are thick, all right? Everything about us as Black women is a lot. We are different. Our hair is different, our texture. How many times were you at school growing up? People look at you, especially if you went to a predominantly white area, you going to college, you know what I'm saying? And people look at, oh, I love your braids. Oh, I love your hair, oh, your curls, blah, 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 And it's like, okay, thank you. But I'm not sure if it was a celebration or if it was you look like a, when you go to the zoo and the animals is in the cage, oh, look at them, oh. You know what I'm saying? No, this is beauty. And I'm saying all of this, all jokes aside, think about genuinely when you were growing up as a little girl. Did you feel beautiful? Did you feel like you were celebrated for who you were? The curves, the skin color, just everything about what you stood for, even down to your personality, how you would speak. Did you ever feel like you had to change yourself to make people feel more comfortable? Maybe you have to do that now on your job where you constantly are questioning, did I come off too aggressive? Am I too assertive? People assuming that you got it. Let's even go deeper, where when you think about how there probably were, and I'm gonna talk about something that's a little taboo, we don't talk about this a lot. When we as women are looking for our partners, how many times did we have to have conversations with our girls to either validate why we wanted to date a certain type of man because secretly we didn't feel like we could get someone different? So you dating, oh boy, and I'm not trying to say that Rodney was trash because, I love God, I love all his people. But Rodney was raggedy. You did not have no business dating Rodney. But let's be real. How many times did your mama, your auntie, people, that's the thing about y'all young girls. You don't know how to keep a man. You don't know this, you don't know that. Go ahead, you gotta teach him, right? What was that famous phrase? Gotta train him. And I'm not saying that, no shade, because, right now, I'm around the man right now. He's my camera man. And you looking at me like, careful what you say. But let's be real, sometimes men need a little bit more time to mature. But does that mean that we have to place ourselves in situations, because I've even talked to him about this, where they keep it real with you? They will say, fill in the blank, put your name here. I am not ready for a relationship. I am not ready to settle down. I want to poke and have fun, but I am not interested in wifing you up, keeping it real with you. And you will say, that's fine. I'm cool with that. You weren't cool with it, sis. You weren't cool. And I'm not trying to say, people out here doing crazy stuff. I'm just saying there probably were times where we as women secretly did not feel worth the fight, the journey, Think about how many times I'm talking to myself right now. I will be real with you. There were times when I would get into situations and date and feel as if I don't take this opportunity and actually date this man, I don't know when the next one will come. So I will stay in this situation knowing that maybe I want more, I need more. I will assume that the type of man that I want, I'm not saying that that's everyone's type. So I would date people there were times when I would date and get into relationships and stay in relationships, allow myself or convince myself that I was okay with situationships because I didn't feel like I was worth it. I'm gonna read you an excerpt from my journal. Don't you tell nobody about what I say. I'm gonna read something real quick. Right, so one of the tips that I've been doing, because I've had a lot of emotional roller coaster type of moments, is I've actually been taking time to write in my journal and to write my feelings. And so I wanted to share. I find that especially as women and powerful women, because I know you watching, you are a boss babe. People love you, they adore you, you give yourself to everyone. But there probably are moments, if you were being transparent, where you have not been real or honest about where you're at. If you are tapping into that feeling of like, I am worthy enough to take time to heal, to deal with the things that I'm struggling with. So this was one of my journal entries recently that I wanted to read to you. And excuse me if I start crying, but I'm just gonna be real, okay? Because I had to give myself permission to feel worthy enough to go to that place, to do a check-in and to make sure I'm honest about where my mental, spiritual, and emotional health was. So I said, Dear Lord, this morning, I feel so raw and vulnerable. My life seems so big and so little at the same time. Ironically, I read a Facebook post that summed up this final chapter. It's okay for me to be kind to myself. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to get mad. It's okay to be flawed. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to move on. My prayer. Lord, thank you for granting me permission to be okay or to not be okay. Thank you for allowing me to have this space in my journey to become unhinged, face my fears, heal, release, and forgive. Thank you for confiding in me and trusting me with the hearts of your people. The value that I've found in my faith is rooted in my early recognition of my lack of control. I needed God to stabilize my emotions and lead me down the path that brings out my highest, clearest self. What I'm really trying to say is, God, I could do this alone, but I don't want to. I choose you, not because I think you will do everything I want, but you will provide everything that I need. And in the moment of me diving deeper into whether I was okay or not, or what I was feeling, or where I want this next chapter to go, it was rooted in one really important thought that I allowed myself to go down this path of saying, Whitley, you are worth the time. Do you know why we as women of power, women who are often giving ourselves, you know why we do this? Is because probably deep down inside, the love, the affection, the adoration, the attention, the validation, the affirmation that we are giving out to everybody else, we would love that in return. But at times, if we're honest, we do not feel worthy enough to receive it. So we give out of hope that it'll come back to us. I'm not saying that it's not deeply intrinsic for us to do this, but I know that at times we've gotten into relationships, we have stayed in situations, we have allowed ourselves to try to control everything around us because the very person on the inside that needed that healing, that love, that connection, that worthiness was us. So I challenge you, I beg you, you are worthy. Say it to yourself, I am worthy. And no matter how much I go through, no how many people say it or don't say it, validate or don't validate, love or don't love, you are worthy. You are worthy of the time. You are worthy of calling your best friend and them listening to you cry because of that breakup, because you didn't get that job, because you got the job, because life is great. You are worthy of being celebrated. Everything about you. The reason why you are here today is because you are worthy. So lean into the fact that it's okay if you're okay. It's okay if you're not okay. But what I will not allow you to do in this moment is to even for a second believe that you're too much, that you have to somehow fit into societal norms or the expectations that people often have of women. We are not a one size fits all, and especially not if you carry Black girl magic. You are worthy. So lean into whatever it is that you need to lean into. Go after whatever it is that you need to go after. The world is waiting. I love you.